this thing is continually putting out fresh oil every single day. It's not like you get this big spill and then due to the sunlight and wave action, a lot of the most harmful aromatic compounds are driven off. They go into the air or you burn the thing off. Those compounds are being injected into the environment every single day until they get this thing capped. So it really is scary.
It's going to take decades to recover from an oil spill of the magnitude that we have. I mean, people, the culture around there is dependent on it. It's not just the effects of on the ecosystems, but people's livelihoods and generations have grown up around there, and we can't put a price tag on that.
It hits people hard in terms of their personal lives. You know, how can I get shoes for my kid? How can I feed my kids? You know, I make my living off the sea, and now something like this happens. Well, the wetlands are the primary nursery for, you know, the shrimp, the shellfish. For lots of species of big ocean-going fish, they spend their juvenile years living in the productive estuaries and in the wetlands. And so, you know, if this oil actually moves into that habitat and starts to coat the roots of the wetland plants that live there, and we start getting wetland plants die off, then you're losing the three-dimensional habitat that these small juveniles hide within, the habitat that provides their food. You're really affecting the ability of these areas to act as a nursery. And that's another one of the ecosystem services that wetlands provide, is that they're an important nursery for many of the commercial fishes and shellfish that we harvest here in the United States and all over the world, actually.
Well, I think that the Obama administration has a window of opportunity in terms of implementing safety regulations for oil rigs and for the safety of oil drilling off the coast right now that they wouldn't have otherwise. Because during times in which gas prices are high, we're unwilling to make any kind of accommodation that might hinder more growth in the oil industry. So now is the time to do it if they're going to do it.
I'm kicking myself now, but when this first happened, you know, in my own mind it was like, well, maybe this will convince more Americans that offshore drilling is not like such a science that we'll never have an accident. And when you do have an accident, especially on this scale, the effects are wide-reaching, and they're going to go decades beyond this event. So, but none of us are really willing to stop driving our cars, or stop having the lights, or stop having our computers. So, you know, to suggest that, you know, to try to condemn the agencies involved that were involved in this accident, that they would have preferred not happen, when all they were doing was supplying the hunger that I have and all Americans have for oil, is, you know, at one level I kind of find is being too hypocritical.